9 months after dropping her debut album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, Chapel Roan is achieving the kind of success that many newcomers aspire to. Recently, her album soared to the top of the US iTunes chart, surpassing big names like Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish. Her monthly Spotify listeners have recently surged to over 20 million, and she's been performing to packed crowds at major festivals such as Boston Calling and Gov Ball in New York City. In this video, let's get to know more about Chapel Roan and how she makes it to the top. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap the bell button so you won't miss any of our videos. Chapel Roan was born Kaylee Rose Amstutz in the small Ozarks town of Willard, Missouri. She was captivated and shocked by the pop music of the late 2000s and early 2010s, including artists like Kesha, Lady Gaga, and Katy Perry. When the video for Lady Gaga's Alejandro was released while Roan was in middle school, she was struck by its provocative nature. Growing up feeling distinct from others, Roan harbored dreams of stardom from an early age. Her passion for watching award shows fueled her ambition. Roan has been active in the pop music industry for several years. At 17, she signed her first record deal with Atlantic Records and has been consistently releasing music since then. Although her earlier songs didn't entirely break through, her career took a turn last September when she released her debut album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, and began touring as Olivia Rodrigo's opening act. In March, her performance on NPR's Tiny Desk concert series went viral, racking up 3.4 million views and increasing her Spotify monthly listeners by 500%. By April, she was a major sensation at Coachella. In June, she was the highlight of the Governor's Ball. She has also made appearances on The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Roan is now transitioning from a dedicated pop artist to a prominent pop star. Roan's story is compelling because of how long it took her to succeed and how much her music changed. Now, her concerts feel like lively drag parties. A few years ago, she sang sad power ballads like Lord and Florence Welch, focusing on the pain of unrequited love. Back then, her voice was deep and smooth, and her music videos showed her with dark, straight hair. Her growth explains why she's now finding such quick success. Her story is about maturing and creating her style at the perfect time and place. So how did she become Chapel? Roan's upbringing was deeply conservative, with church attendance 3 times a week and the belief that being gay was bad and a sin. In a 2022 interview with Rolling Stone, she expressed regret over her challenging mental health during that period, wishing for better experiences. Her singing ability was first noticed during a middle school talent show, leading to a record deal with Atlantic Records after being discovered through her YouTube performances. She started traveling between her family home in Missouri and recording studios in Los Angeles and New York. Her debut single, Good Hurt, was released in August 2017, and she followed it up with her first EP, School Nights, just a month later. She had already decided against performing under her real name. Instead, she chose a stage name to honor her grandfather, Dennis Chapel, and his favorite song, The Strawberry Roan. In an interview with her hometown newspaper, she admitted that selecting the name was the most challenging and stressful part of the process. A few years later, Roan looked back on this time with a new perspective, finding it odd and stressful. She admitted feeling unprepared and not realizing the sacrifices she would need to make. She missed important milestones like her senior year, prom, and graduation in chasing her career. During this period, her music focused on dark, intense themes of loving someone who wasn't good for her. In the Good Hurt video, she sings about wanting this kind of love while immersing herself in a lake of black water. Roan from that earlier time was quite different from who she is now. Back then, she didn't showcase a queer identity in her music or image, focusing on songs about an unnamed, beautiful boy. She wore long, dark hair and flowing white gowns, which was a stark contrast to her current vibrant and elaborate drag outfits. Her 2010 style was more typical of the melancholic indie pop trend, which she now feels was really dark, angsty pop, that was pretty boring. Although her stage presence and singing skills attracted a small, dedicated fan base, it wasn't enough to gain widespread fame at that point. In 2018, Roan made a significant change by moving to Los Angeles, leaving behind the conservative beliefs of her past. In an interview, she shared that she had been told LA was a place of darkness and evil. However, her time in West Hollywood proved these fears wrong and changed her perspective, especially about the queer community. Her visits to gay clubs felt almost spiritual to her. In LA, she met Dan Nigro, a music producer and former indie band leader who became a key collaborator. Their partnership started just before Nigro gained fame for his work on Olivia Rodrigo's hit song, Driver's License. Their first collaboration, Pink Pony Club, was released in April 2020 and marked the beginning of Chapel Roan's new image. This persona features loose, curly hair and a focus on embracing vulnerability and casting aside shame. Inspired by her first visit to the Abbey, a famous gay club in LA, Roan was fascinated by the go-go dancers. This experience led her to write a song about a small-town woman who leaves her disapproving mother to work as a stripper at the Pink Pony Club. Unlike her previous deep indie style, Pink Pony Club showcases a precise, almost burlesque-style vocal performance. Unfortunately, April 2020 wasn't the best time for dance songs. When Pink Pony Club came out during the tough early days of the pandemic, it didn't get much attention. The song also faced criticism from her label, which didn't like Roan's sudden shift from her earlier style. She only released 2 more songs with Atlantic: the upbeat love song Love Me Anyway and the sad California. California is different from Pink Pony Club. While Pink Pony Club is about the excitement of leaving a small town for LA, California shows someone who arrives in the city only to feel that their sacrifices weren't worth it. Just 10 days after the release of California in August 2020, Atlantic Records ended their partnership with Roan, citing her music's lack of success. That same week, she also ended a long-term relationship. Feeling like a failure, Roan knew deep down she wasn't defeated. She returned to Willard, Missouri, got a job at a coffee kiosk drive-thru, and began making plans for her next move. She decided to spend a year saving money and getting ready before returning to Los Angeles to try music again. If she failed, then she would consider going to college. During this time, Roan began building a dedicated fan base despite not having music industry backing. Pink Pony Club started gaining popularity on TikTok and gradually became a hit through word of mouth. In 2021, Vulture noted the song's surprising rise, describing it as a pop gem that seemed out of place but perfectly timed. While Nigro was busy with Olivia Rodrigo's debut album Sour, he and Roan reconnected in November 2021. Feeling overlooked and unsure, Roan received crucial support from Nigro, who urged her to take charge of her career and warned her that she needed to act decisively to avoid failure. In March 2022, Roan released Naked in Manhattan, her first single as an independent artist. She shot the music video with friends in thrifted outfits on the streets of New York City. The song is about her wish to kiss a female friend, showing her frustration with past romantic experiences. At the time, she was still dating a boy and hadn't kissed a girl, so the lyrics reflected her hopes rather than reality. Naked in Manhattan continues the style from Pink Pony Club, marking her first openly queer song and introducing a spoken word segment that became a trademark. The video showcases her new thrift store pop star look: bright red hair, over-the-top outfits from thrift stores, and a pin-up-inspired vibe, signaling a major shift in her personal and artistic identity. Also, in March 2022, Roan was announced as the opening act for Olivia Rodrigo and Fletcher. She continued to release independent singles, including Karma and Femininomenon in August and Casual in October. By February 2023, she was headlining her own national tour. Her stage persona, Chapel Roan, drew inspiration from drag queens she admired. During performances, she became a bold, unapologetic character, contrasting with her everyday self, Kaylee. In March 2023, Roan signed with Dan Nigro's Amusement Records in partnership with Island Records. By then, Roan had considerable influence, meeting with 9 labels and insisting on financial support that met her needs. Confident in her success, she carefully chose the right label. After years of experimenting and managing her career, Roan's breakthrough had finally arrived. Her career took off when she embraced her true self as a queer woman. The joy in the rise and fall of a Midwest princess comes from discovering who she really is and moving past old beliefs. In Naked in Manhattan, she confidently expresses her feelings, showing how much she has grown from her earlier music. What do you think of Roan's journey to success? What do you think of her as an artist? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification button to stay updated on the latest.